Okay, so hello everybody, Carlos here, taking you on a hike around my neighborhood. The first part will be walking to Mount Douglas, across Mount Douglas, and then on and on to Rivets Bog, once around the bog, and then back the way I came. So far I've walked more than halfway, so I'm recording this on a shady section at the bog, coming back. The video will probably be of little use to me. I'm just after the audio. So this is the Running Jackal, signing off on the first day of August. Hello again. I've seen that guy twice. He's doing counterclockwise loops, and I've seen him pass me twice. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is going to be a real short episode because there's going to be more of these every day this month in August. I started thinking about when I originally got into podcasting. What happened was there was this challenge called the Dog Days of Podcasting that takes place during the month of August. And the challenge was to put out a podcast every day. And Tim Smith of the Topics and Endurance Sports had sent out an invitation on a website or on Facebook asking anybody wanting to participate by doing a short clip. So I started doing that beginning of August, and after a while I decided I could do this regularly. So shortly after that, 4 years ago, in August, I started my very own podcast, the regular Just a Runner's podcast. Yes, it's changed some since the beginning, hopefully for the better. So, at the last minute here, I had considered what to do because I knew August 23rd or something like that was when my first ever podcast came out. And I said, this is probably coming out again. Maybe I'll just try to do some sort of challenge like that. And procrastinating all the way till August 1st. So I decided I'll go ahead, I'll just do the podcast throughout just anywhere from 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes, whatever it takes. In addition, if I'm going to try to get a few of my regular podcasts out. These are just going to be very quick, record, upload, and it'll just be DDOP and the date, August 1st. So, and I'll probably be put out at the end of the day. And what my intention, while I'm training throughout the month for the Columbus Marathon on October 16th, I'm just going to give day-by-day updates on my training and whatever else pops in my head. So, that's the short story of why I'm doing this. So, just a way to go back to when I originally started off doing. And hopefully I can get a few good interviews. I'd like to get a few things started in August, or get a few good podcasts out. And I said I was going to do the book club and try to start that the end of August, the Just a Runner's book club. So I'm going to start trying to get that set up this week, and hopefully we'll have a first edition of our book club out then. But like I said, this is going to be all about what I'm doing to improve on a day-by-day basis. And I'm not trying to make leaps and bounds on a daily basis on my marathon training.
Hello everybody, Carlos here, August the 2nd. Once again running. Well, yesterday I was hiking, but
Zone 2. Time 20 minutes. Average heart rate 122. Time for hydration.
20 minutes into a short run on the Mountain of Joy here in cool Victoria, temperature and
Zone 3.
culture. Victoria is a very laid-back kind of place for older folk, seniors like myself. When we came to Vancouver Island,
Zone 4.
we were in our 50s, and now we're in our 70s. Had we been in our 30s, we probably would have gone to Vancouver,
Zone 3.
which is on the mainland. We live on an island.
Time 21 minutes. Average heart rate 132.
Hello,
Hey, Carlos.
how are you?
Hey, good. How about yourself?
I'm just about to run to the weight room.
Oh,
I've started doing some
good
upper
for you.
body stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're obviously still thriving. Well, there you go. A chance encounter with an old friend. A man that I used to be rivals with. We ran the Elk Beaver 50-mile race together. And I beat him. I was the first male home. Hello, dog.
Zone 3.
Pretty soon I'm going to have to cut this recording short. So this is the running jackal catching his breath on a bit of an uphill here on Mount Douglas in Victoria, BC.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is August 2nd for the Dog Days of Podcasting Challenge. Like I said, these will be short and sweet, hopefully sweet. Today's workout, got it in Tempo Tuesday run. I did 4 times 10 minutes at my tempo pace. Actually, I was pretty close on all of them. If you're interested or have some goals, running goals, and you need a little bit of help or guidance, let me know. We'll work something out and help get you on the right path to hit those goals.
Well, hello, Carlos. I hope the sound quality on this is usable, but I'm having some issues with the voice recorder on my cell phone. It likes to just stop recording midway through the recording, so that doesn't help me when I'm trying to record things for you. So I'm using the laptop today, so hopefully this will work out a little bit better. Unfortunately, you won't have all the nice ambient noise from the outside because I am indoors. First of all, I wanted to thank you for your shout-out email that you sent me. Very nice to know that my friends are thinking about me, so I do really appreciate that. As far as the headache goes, actually the headache is improving. I've had this for over 50 days. Again, I don't even know what the count is now. I stopped counting at 53. That was about as long as I want to count how long I've had a headache consecutively. But it's somewhere beyond 53 days. But as I mentioned, it is starting to get better. I definitely have done a lot more research on the topic of headaches than I ever planned to ever do in my life. That having been said, I have my next appointment with the neurology dude. That's, of course, the technical term for them. A week from today. So 7 more days, and I see the aforementioned neurology dude. So there you go. And then the neurology dude will tell me exactly what the heck was going on. Or at least that's the plan anyway. He may not know either. So there you go. But again, the good news is feeling better. Honestly, the symptom that I'm still having is tinnitus, or if you prefer, tinnitus, potato, even though the proper pronunciation is tinnitus. And I've had that before. I have ear issues for quite some time, but it's more of the pulsing form of tinnitus, which means that it is something to do with a blood vessel that's got some increased blood flow, and you're basically hearing your heartbeat in your ears, what's going on. And so that comes with a number of different forms of headaches, so I won't bore you with all that since I've already talked about a headache for almost 3 minutes. So there you go. Otherwise, weather here is nice. Hopefully, as my health improves, I can get out a little bit more. I'm up to doing about 3.5 mile runs now. I start off at the bottom of the hill in front of my driveway and walk about 1/4 of a mile up, and then start the run at the crest or the apex of the big hill in front of my house. And then once I get to my start point, on the way back, my start point is also my finish point, so that I have a nice cool down walk down the big hill in front of my house, and of course stop at my garage. Gives me a chance to get a little bit of a quick little warm up and a cool down in every run. So it does lower my overall pace since I'm including walking, but I don't care. I'm not doing this for a prize. I'm doing this for health, and I'm getting what I paid for. So there you go. All right, we are now up at 4 minutes, so now I have less than 60 seconds to wrap this all up and put a nice bow on it and mail this to Victoria, BC. So from South Central Pennsylvania, Reagan's around here somewhere because she's never far away. This is Jim, your buddy, saying thank you for the shout out and reaching out. Be sure to stay healthy and safe. And until we speak again, ciao.
Hello and welcome to another episode of... No, wait, that's not what this is. So, Carlos, I'm glad that people exist in this world who are curious as to what I'm up to. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in a cave with all my little papers and computers and stuff. So I'm still not running, which is good. I still got pain in this left knee. I'm waiting for it to sort itself out. You know, sometime in the fall, I'll bite the bullet and go back and spend the bazillion dollars to get more pictures taken and see if we can find a path forward. But the best thing now is rest. And my version of rest, of course, is to flirt with the insanity of endurance sports. So I have been bicycling, and I got a coach, and I made up my own event. I'm gonna bicycle across most of Massachusetts in 2 days. Me and my buddy Frank, we took our motorcycles out. So I'm hiking with Ollie. I'm doing my lunchtime walk. It's a mile, 20 minutes mile. It's good for us to get out. It's hot, but we're getting used to the heat, right? We're at that point where, it's 90 degrees out, but you're like, yeah, it's 90 degrees, so what, right? And we'll get used to it just in time so that first cold day in September where it's like 60, we'll be like, oh my God, we gotta start a fire in the fireplace. Can't stand it. So part of what I like about living in New England, we have a seasonal climate. And you get to, I think that probably keeps your body and your mind smart, having to adapt, but that's another story. Anyhow, we rode our motorcycles out Route 2 West, which is sort of the two-laner, the biggest road that goes out to North Adams, which is in the upper left-hand corner of Massachusetts, and it's a valley out there. It's actually called the Mohawk Trail, famous place, touristy place, and we scoped out the hotel that I'm going to be staying at in Williamstown. But then Frank went home, but I continued on to find where I'm going to start my ride. Originally, I was going to start where the states all meet, Vermont, New York, and Massachusetts, but turns out that's in the middle of the woods, and there's a marker there, but not sure you can get to it. So that's a little variability I don't want to encounter. Then I was just going to start in Williamstown, which is the closest town with a hotel. But then I looked at the elevation, and apparently North Adams and Williamstown are on the other side of Mount Greylock, which is the tallest mountain in Massachusetts. So there's no way around like a 3,000-foot climb out of that valley to get to the part of Massachusetts I want to be in. So what my current plan is, have my wife drop me off at the top of the pass there, which will shorten the ride by about 10-15 miles, which is okay, but it will cut out that get on the bike and climb 3,000 feet straight up right off the gate. So that's my current plan. I'm gonna sleep. I'm doing it by myself unless somebody wants to jump in. I'm riding my mountain bike, which is very comfortable, handles the crappy roads well, and it gets, it goes fast enough. You lose a little bit on the top end, lose a couple miles an hour in the middle, but I'm getting good at riding it on the road. I got some aero bars, so I can shift the weight off my ass, and I think it won't be as challenging as 130 miles a day, piece of cake. So I'm going to stay in Foxborough, which you may have. First night I'm going to make it to Foxborough, which people may have heard of. There's a football team that lives there. Hold on, let me get Ollie. Ollie, leash. Ollie, sit. He's playing hard to hear. Hey, leash. Good boy. Whew. All right, still recording. Okay, good. And so, there's a hotel in Patriots Place, which is right next to the Gillette Stadium. I'm going to winter, sleep there. Then the next day I'll ride on across the bridge onto Cape Cod, then the length of Cape Cod up to Provincetown. And that's what we'll call the night. So that's my plan. I've been training like crazy. I'm up to like a 4-hour ride in the heat, which is about as far as I can carry fluids for. Still tuning my my nutrition, but like I said, I think it's doable. And my wife was funny because she's like, "What if you get hit by a car? What if you get lost? What if you can't do it?" I'm like, that's why we do these things. It's the adventure. If it was all guaranteed, why would you want to do it? So she's a worry wart. Ollie's doing well. He's 3 years old now. Just turned 3 years old. He's getting a little bit more sane, but he's still a nutcase. Obviously, he's not running, so that affects him. Because these border collies need a couple hours of activity every day. So, anyhow, that's what's up with me. Beautiful summertime. Cheers.
Good morning, Carlos. It's Kevin. I thought I would stop by and say hello to your 5-minute listeners while I'm out on my coffee walk this morning, trying to get my heart rate into zone 2 for my 4-mile walk this morning with a nice brew of Hawaiian coffee of some sort. I don't remember nor could I pronounce the name, but it's very good. Anyway, I thought I would relay a story to your listeners, assuming that most of them are runners. And I'll try to explain it very quickly in case some of you aren't and don't have this perspective. It's a story about my 2 youngest girls. They are 13 years old, entering the 8th grade. And they play a few sports, but one of them is soccer, and that seems to be their go-to sport. They play that year-round on a traveling soccer team. And they have a rather ambitious and strict coach that I have never questioned his ability to, as a soccer coach, as far as knowing the sport. He knows soccer inside and out. He has no doubt forgotten more than I know about soccer. But he doesn't deal with young kids very well. Let me give you an example. He sent out a note to the whole team one day last week. We have like an app, a soccer app that has an ability to send out a large text, a group text, and that's how we communicate, or how he communicates with the team. Sent one out last week and saying he was going to do 2 nights of fitness this week. He's never done this before. And I don't think he's doing this weekly. It's just a one-time deal before the season starts. So here's what he was going to do for the first night. Some 40s sprints, right? 40-meter sprints. And then there was going to be an endurance run of 1.5 miles. And he expected the girls to finish in 9 minutes. 9 minutes for 1.5 miles. So I did the math, and I might have the minutes off, but when I did the math, it came out to in the low 5-minute range. 5:10, 5:15 per mile pace. And I had to chuckle, and I let that go for a while, hoping that one of the other parents would reply with something like, are you out of your head? But nobody did. And I thought, well, maybe the rest of them aren't runners, and they just don't think about what that is. So finally, after about a half hour, I sent back and I said, Tino, maybe I'm wrong here, but that would be about a 5:20 pace. And I don't think that's reasonable for a 13-year-old kid to do. And after 2 or 3 minutes, another father sent and said, yeah, I think there might be a girl or two on our high school track team that can run that pace, but certainly no 13-year-olds. So after about 10 minutes, he finally sent one back saying, okay, they have to do it in 10 minutes now. Which, and I did the math again, whatever the minutes, it was 10 something, and he moved it out to a 6:20 pace. So I just let that go. Well, they had the endurance night last evening, and I told my girls, oh, by the way, yesterday we had a heat advisory. It got up to 95 degrees here in Cincinnati, which is, I believe, 35 Celsius. So it got rather hot. Heat advisory. And one of the parents sent a thing out saying, Tino, we've got a heat advisory. Are you sure you want to do this in this heat? And he wrote back and said, okay, I'll push it to 8:30. They were supposed to meet at 8 o'clock, so he pushed it to 8:30. God love him. So they did it. I picked the girls up last night. Before they went, I made sure to tell my girls, you do not have to run this thing in 10 minutes. I do not care what Tino tells you. Don't go out there and try to kill yourself. I said, you should push yourself a little bit. It's hot out there. And just do your best, but don't try to beat his time. And sure enough, I think my girls, one of my daughters finished second and the other finished fourth, I believe. And they were both right in the 12-minute range. So they both ran in the sevens, which I was impressed with. These girls don't run daily, and they practice soccer, which is, a decent amount of running, just short bursts here and there. But anyway, so that's just one example of this soccer coach who I don't think, has a good grasp on how to deal with 13-year-old kids. Anyway, thought I'd share that story. I hope you're all doing well, and y'all enjoy your extra mile.